All right, so today on the workbench we have the brand new Joe Bonamassa 1955 Les Paul Standard in Copper Iridescent. So it has a mahogany body with a maple cap, a mahogany neck with custom 59 rounded C profile. So it is a little chunky. If you're not used to a chunky neck, you will definitely notice that this is a little thicker. It has a laurel fretboard and obviously this rare copper iridescent finish. The pickups are Epiphone P90 Pro pickups, and the electronics, it does have CTS pots, Mallory capacitors, and 50s wiring. So it's a pretty cool guitar. The setup as it came from the factory is pretty typical. It's a little higher than what I like and what probably a lot of people like. It was 2.5 millimeters on the bass side and 1.75 millimeters on the treble side. The current relief is good where it is, maybe just a little bit lower. I might just lower that just a hair to get a little bit less relief and a little bit flatter. So let's take a closer look at this. All right, so up here we do have the Kluson style tulip tuning machines, and the headstock style is just the updated Epiphone one. It's not the one that's exactly like the Gibson headstock, but it's the one that they updated maybe a couple of years ago to get rid of the little bumps on the side here. That's a little bit more like the open book headstock. The fretwork is pretty good. They are fairly shiny. I don't feel like I need to polish these up. But the fretboard, it's a little dry. And that's something to look out for on any guitar. You have to keep in mind that every guitar coming out of any factory, it's leaving that temperature and humidity controlled environment. It's going to be shipped in a container, and even if it's not shipped from overseas, once it leaves the factory, it's no longer in a temperature and humidity controlled environment. So things like the fretboard can dry out, and then maybe your relief will change a little bit just because your temperature and humidity has changed. So here are the P90 pickups. And the finish, it really depends on the lighting. It can go from looking really coppery and shiny with a little bit of metallic to really looking black and dark. So when you first open it up out of the case, it might not be very exciting until you really get it in the light and take a closer look at things. So I'm going to get the strings off here. I'm going to lower the fret, or lower the action a little bit on the bass side. 1.75 is fine for me on the treble, but I like it around 2 millimeters on the bass. I'm going to condition the fretboard, and then we'll take these pickups out and open up the electronics and get a look in there and see what's going on the inside. All right, so the tailpiece, this is the lock tone. And what's it say in here? I believe it says Epiphone. Get focus on that. And it is the lock tone. It has the little clips in there to hold it from just falling off. So that's a nice feature. And also Epiphone bridge, and there's the little wire on there. All right, so let's take these pickups out and take a look at them. All right, so let's take a little bit of a closer look. You can see it has these foam pads underneath there. Kind of covers up the glued in neck with the long neck tenon. And you see that's on both of those. And the pickups, you can see those P90 SSB PNC and P90 SBP PB. So obviously that's for the neck and that's for the bridge. All right, there we go. Let's see if I can zoom in on here. Get better close up the pots. There we go, we can see the CTS pots. And there's our capacitors. Got some quick connect stuff in there. All right, let's take a look in the three-way switch compartment. All right, so this is an Epiphone three-way jack. It doesn't say that it's a Switchcraft, so I don't believe it is. All right, so while we have the strings off, let's go ahead and get some measurements on the neck. So at the first fret, 22.55. And let's go up to the 12th fret, and that's reading 25.89. So it is a pretty thick neck. And if you're not used to that, then it might take a little bit of time to adapt. But I've played enough, 50 styles guitars now that it really doesn't make that much difference, and I get used to it pretty quickly. So I'm just going to condition the fretboard, put a new set of strings on it, and it'll be ready to play again. And also lower this action before I forget. Probably just a half turn should be sufficient. I'll measure it once I get my strings back on. All right, let's get some strings on this and it will be ready to play again. The reason I like the Elixir better is because the stock strings usually have the same problem. They've went through humidity and temperature changes, and they can tarnish just a little bit, even if it's a relatively new model. And even more so if you get, again, a guitar that's been sitting in storage with a retailer for a long period of time. All right, so it's got a fresh new set of strings on it and it's ready to play. Let me check how I did on the action here at the 12th fret. Let's see what I got. Yeah, we're still a little high, so I'm gonna have to take that down a little bit. All right, that's better. Right around 2. And the treble still around 1.75. All right, so it also comes with the Joe Bonamassa certificate of authenticity, as well as the Nerdville USA pink lined hard shell case. And these ones are coming in at $8.49. So the people wanting the less expensive limited edition models will be happy to see that this one's the lower priced model. I believe it's limited to 1,500 pieces. I think that's what Joe Bonamassa said in the video where they were looking over this guitar, where he was demoing it with Caesar, I think. I'm not sure. One of the guys from Gibson. But anyway, so this has been the Joe Bonamassa 1955 Les Paul Standard with P90 pickups, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.